taken on some losses since reaching on its all-time high of $153 a share in early January. It's down 26% from that point roughly, but next week could bring a positive catalyst for Nvidia stock. The company is set to hold its annual 2025 GTC AI conference with CEO Jensen Huang's keynote coming Tuesday, March 18th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Here with more on what to expect from the company, we've got Yahoo Finance tech editor Dan Howley. Dan, what are the big three things to watch here?
Yeah, Brad, this is obviously a huge event for NVIDIA. It's their biggest conference of the year, despite them just having a huge keynote at CES. The big three things to watch are, number one, Jensen Huang's keynote. He's going to kick that off on March 18th. That's Tuesday. And that should give us a sense of what NVIDIA is looking forward to in the year to come. Now, the other thing to look for, part of his speech, is going to be their next generation GPUs. Right now, Blackwell is their main GPU, but they're expected to announce something called Blackwell Ultra, which would be the kind of second generation of Blackwell. They do this with their GPUs. They have a major platform change and then an upgrade to that platform. We're also expected to hear about the coming generation, the generation after Blackwell, and that's supposed to be Vera Rubin, and it's named after the astronomer Vera Rubin. Vera would be the CPU, Rubin would be the GPU, the combination would then be the superchip, similar to how we have the Grace Blackwell superchip. It combines the CPU and GPU into one platform. And then in addition to that, we're looking for announcements related to quantum computing, as well as humanoid robotics or robotics more generally. Quantum computing has gotten a lot of play recently because of announcements from the likes of Google, Microsoft, and Amazon rolling out their own chips. Don't sleep on IBM, which has been in the space for quite some time. Intel also in there. Jensen Huang had raised some eyebrows, saying that he doesn't expect there to be a practical quantum computer from between 10, 20 years around there. That had a lot of people on Wall Street questioning whether they should be investing in quantum stocks. And then we had Sundar Pichai come out and say, 5 to 10 years, it'll be here. So nobody really knows. That's the long and short of it. Experts I spoke to said it really is still up in the air when we'll get a practical quantum computer. But previous GTCs have seen huge announcements. As I said, we had the Blackwell chip debut last year at GTC. Obviously, that's the big chip that everybody talks about when they talk about NVIDIA right now. Jensen Huang had also discussed a ChatGPT moment for robotics coming. That was in a prior GTC. And then he's also had some self-driving car demonstrations in the past. NVIDIA has an automotive arm. They work with different automakers to build out the systems that run self-driving cars. And so you can expect to hear a lot of that. But I think really the main kind of announcements from the show will be around those new chips. A lot of people will be wondering, when do they ramp up? When do they start getting into consumers' hands? And when does that kind of revenue start to show up on the revenue?
What it means for OpenAI, one of the important partners of it. Steve Kovac also looking at Microsoft. And Steve, I want to start with you. We spent a good amount of our 9 o'clock hour at the top of the hour discussing the implications for Microsoft of what appears to be sort of a deepening connection between Oracle and OpenAI and the expiration, so to speak, over time of the exclusivity of financing by Microsoft. So what do we know or what do we surmise here?
Yeah, David, this is what we're seeing. It's Microsoft sort of losing its grip that it once had over OpenAI. Until yesterday, it was the exclusive cloud provider for OpenAI, the hottest startup on the planet. And now, instead of being the exclusive provider, it has what they're calling the right of first refusal. So OpenAI says, they'll come to Microsoft saying, we need this cloud capacity for X, Y, and Z, what we want to do. And Microsoft can now say, we don't have the capacity to serve you. You guys need to go somewhere else. It's very clear they're going to Oracle right now, but this also potentially opens up the window for those other hyperscaler companies we talk about so often, Google and Amazon, even smaller players like HPE and Dell. They can all get in on the game as well. And that's also what the Stargate thing is about, is OpenAI using its own money and its own cash to invest in cloud capacity. And you might remember, David, we've heard CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, say several times throughout the last year that they literally don't have the cloud capacity to keep up with the enormous demand they're seeing for artificial intelligence. That's not just OpenAI. That's other open source models. That includes Meta's models and so many other models that are also running on Azure cloud servers. That's why Microsoft said they're going to spend $80 billion in its fiscal year ending at this summer just to build out AI infrastructure, half of which is going to be happening here. And so all that money is effectively, yes, going to go towards Nvidia. This is great news for Nvidia and all these other companies. But what we're seeing now is Microsoft losing that exclusivity on the cloud. It makes a lot of money from having this cloud deal with OpenAI. The more OpenAI activity that happens on Azure cloud servers, the more money both companies end up making. So this is potentially them just because they don't have the capacity to do it. They're kind of ceding some of that potential revenue growth to other cloud providers.
Yeah. Kate, from the OpenAI side, I mean, do we have a sense? You know, there have been, and I'm sure you've heard it, talk in the marketplace about a deterioration in the relationship in some way. But do you have any sense as to what the conversation was? Was it OpenAI saying, hey, we need more, you can't give it to us? Or I don't know. You tell me.
That's what I'm hearing from sources, David, is a little bit of the lead up to this. And it's that capacity that Steve talked about, the demand, and you're seeing that spill over to Oracle. One interesting thing I'm hearing from sources out here is the relationship between CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, and Larry Ellison. So that has gotten closer since they first struck this partnership back in June. The two of them seem to be really aligned as with the big spending that's required with AI infrastructure. I'm told that personal relationship has gotten much closer, which is really interesting. The other thing I'm hearing, SoftBank is a big part of this, and Masa-san, that's another personal relationship. CEO Sam Altman and Masayoshi Son, who, David, you know well, he's not an incremental thinker. Neither is Sam Altman. They've both really been banging the table for this level of infrastructure. They need this stratospheric level of spending. And another thing I'm hearing as well is that, yes, this would have been driven by the private sector. Had this announcement not happened at the White House yesterday, these companies still would have been pouring billions in. But it is a way to underwrite this type of deal, to say you have the confidence of the U.S. government, you have the support of Donald Trump, and symbolically this was a massive deal for OpenAI and Sam Altman. If you think about the animosity, the feud between Elon Musk and Sam Altman, that it's been so public. Musk, of course, a key advisor of President Trump, and Sam Altman got his moment yesterday. It was sort of his debutante moment up there at the podium with Masa, with Larry Ellison, and getting the approval of President Trump. There was this open question. What is OpenAI's role going to be in this new administration? Are they going to be iced out of these sort of deals? We got proof yesterday that is not the case. Sam Altman, President Trump called him the leading expert on AI. So that was just
The first Stargate data center, which will soon open in Abilene, Texas, with the assistance of OpenAI, is expected to house and run roughly 64,000 Nvidia GB200 semiconductors, an absurdly large number for a typical center that is positioned to lead the U.S. to the top of the AI food chain. Nvidia is once again a major player in the most recent chapter of AI evolution. So, what implications does this have for Nvidia's stock? Let's explore that. But first, a big thank you to those of you who've stuck with us this far. Creating these videos takes significant effort and dedication. So if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts on Nvidia stock in the comments. Your support truly helps us grow. Now, let's get back to the video.
I think that Rene Haas has been, by virtue of the fact that ARM is a crucial partner here, is one of Stargate's first technology partners. And we've got Rene Haas, who I think is very informed about the situation. Worked, by the way, at NVIDIA, and obviously large shareholder is Masa-san. So, Rene, great to see you. Please explain to us how important important this really is, because I initially thought that some of these things are just kind of be political, but Stargate seems to be suddenly jumping ahead of everybody in terms of its importance here.
Good morning, Jim and David and team. It's a pretty big deal when you just think about the scale of investment that we're talking about. $500 billion. I think it's probably the largest infrastructure or any investment of any kind in history. And AI, and we've talked about this a lot of times, requires it. You need a tremendous amount of energy. You need a lot of land. You need a lot of compute. And you need low power. And that's where ARM fits in. But it's a big, big deal.
Okay, so compute, when I hear it, says to me that your friend Jensen Huang, Nvidia, is going to be the major player when it comes to that. Can you shed a little light? I know that Jensen wasn't available or talking about yesterday, but he's kind of the elephant in the room, isn't he?
Well, technology partners that were announced were Microsoft, Nvidia, ARM, OpenAI, and Oracle. And of course, NVIDIA's Grace Blackwell, which we've talked about many times. The CPU there is ARM. The GPU is Blackwell. They're going to be the primary technology partner off the bat. With $500 billion of investment and just the amount of problems that need to be solved over time, I think there's opportunity for more players. But right now, yes, it's a great day for Grace Blackwell, and it's a great day for ARM. It's also a great day.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No,
look, I hate to get too granular on this thing, and I know it's not really your world, and I'm putting you on the spot here, but we're trying to figure out OpenAI's relationship with Microsoft and OpenAI's relationship with Oracle after yesterday, because I had always thought that it would not be, and Dave and I could talk about this, that OpenAI was Microsoft, and now it looks like that the OpenAI is partnering with Oracle, and that would not be something that I would have thought was going to occur 48 hours ago.
Yeah, it's probably an area that Sam and Satya should comment on rather than myself. But
right.
I think one of the things when you look at Stargate has been the vision of Masa and the vision of SoftBank to be very instrumental in making this happen. Masa-san is the chairman. And as a result of that, I think he has been very integral in making this happen. And this obviously also would not have happened with fantastic support, without the fantastic support of the incoming administration. There's a lot of work required, Jim, to get all of these permits done, expedited, regulations put in place that can be fast-tracked to make all this happen. So that's why it was such a big day yesterday, and why the venue that was...
President Donald Trump, backed by OpenAI and Oracle, revealed the grandiose Stargate project back in January 2025. The plan called for the gradual establishment of 10 data centers. The announcement of Nvidia's crucial participation serves as a potent market catalyst. To stay informed about the latest developments from Nvidia and the ever-changing stock market, consider subscribing to our investing tutorial channel. We provide daily updates on significant market shifts and key catalysts, so hit that subscribe button to ensure you never miss crucial information. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Nvidia stock, so please share your opinions in the comments below. Now let's dive into today's video.
Obviously, never question the ambitions of Masa, but there are those who are questioning the ability to actually finance this, including Elon Musk, who said simply in a tweet, SoftBank doesn't have the money. Now, what they do have is an awful lot of ARM. Do you have an understanding at all, and I know how often you do speak to Masa, of how this is going to be financed and whether it would include perhaps selling some of the ownership stake in ARM?
Well, one of the things that was mentioned also yesterday, David, was MGX involvement as a financing partner, and more details are going to come out relative to all of that. So I won't try to take on Elon's tweet. I heard about it this morning, but I didn't see it. But I would say rest assured that you would not have the individuals you saw yesterday and the president all together with such a announcement if there wasn't a lot of backing from a financial standpoint. But
is it your understanding or expectation that SoftBank will retain its current enormous stake in ARM?
Yeah, I can't really comment on that, David, but as you and I have chatted about many times, Masa loves ARM. Masa loves ARM as I love ARM. And he also loves the long-term potential of the company. So I can't comment any further.
Renee, the numbers are staggering. We talk about them all the time. I mean, $500 billion here, another $100 billion there. I mean, my God. Do you believe that the return will be justified in the enormous expense that is taking place right now when it comes to the applications from AI that we're all anticipating?
David, you and I have chatted about this many times. I am very much an AI bull. When you look at some of the things that AI will be able to enable, let's just look at drug investment and drug research. Drugs can take 10 to 20 years to develop. When you start at the base level, 95% of those efforts fail. We still do lab testing on animals. Approvals take a long time. AI can shrink all of those development times, not only in terms of developing great drugs faster and sooner, but developing drugs that we can't even do today, i.e. cancer drugs that are particular to your own genome sequence. So I think there will be huge return in many disruptive areas. Medicine is one of the areas.
As we conclude our investigation, it is clear that Nvidia is in a unique position at the center of the tale of AI, with the Stargate program gaining traction thanks to Nvidia's technology and extensive. There is a strong argument for investors to take a look at Nvidia stocks. But what are your thoughts? Finally, give your opinions. If you want to see what firms like Nvidia have been up to lately, click the next video on your screen. I hope to see you there. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.